Hello, fellow wanderers. I'm Endri, and thank you for joining me as we wander through some more Final Fantasy Dawn of Souls, Final Fantasy II, in what should be the final of the main game episode. Up here we have a treasure, a sage's wisdom. Not all that particularly useful, and now we have a long walk around. Nothing else in this room, so no need to worry about treasure. It is a bit of a walk, though. Alright. Made it to the teleport pad. And there are two treasures on this floor. I'll grab them for completeness sake, but they are just on-use items. Nothing special. An acid file. If we go this way, we should find the other one. Over here. Which is a Hellfire. There you go. That's the last two treasures in the whole game. And with that, we find the teleporter. And we end up in a room of pillars. We want to go 2 pillars down. Oh, it actually has an edge. And all the way to the left. And there it is. The teleporter to the final floor. And we're going to chug some elixirs, because why not? I've got tons! And up here, there are random encounters on this floor with dragons. If you want to grind your spells or your weapons up any further, this would be the place to do it. You're most likely to encounter rank 7 enemies here. Here we have the Emperor. We're going to save the game, just in case. You have braved the battles of hell to reach me, but the hand of man, which deals in false justice and forsaken love, can never hope to defeat the Lord Master of Hell. I beg to differ. Anyway, this would be the Emperor, again. Let's see here. Emperor. The final boss. 15,000 hit points, rank 1, 540 MP, drains MP with his physical attacks, resistant or absorbs everything. He's a handful. Why don't we go ahead and Berserk everybody, and Osmos him, and protect everybody. Oh, actually, blink everybody, and see what Leon can do. That's all his MP. That should severely limit his ability to do much to us. Yeah, he just tried to dispel me. It didn't work. Alright, let's do Aura. Yeah, just kind of hit him. Let's put Barrier up. I don't know why. Just for fun. Well, he hit us. He definitely hit us. Let's do haste. And let's definitely put protect up there now. Since, what's his attack? He's only got an 8 accuracy. I'm actually oh, Leon. Right. Leon has no evade. Let's see, that was haste. I think we're good to go. I think we can just start whacking him with the blood sword. Leon, can I get you on your feet long enough for you to, I don't know, live? Anyway, as you can tell from the excitement in my voice, this guy's totally a threat. I just took off half his hit points in a single attack. And I critted with a haste with the blood sword for 14 hits, which did maximum damage. That is the Emperor. To be honest, even without the blood sword, if you put the buffs on that you've been working on, level 8 spells, that's all you really need. He's not that hard. Takes a little longer, but he's not that hard. Unbelievable. Defeated by insects like you. Not once, but twice. Who are you? Ugh. And he explodes. Well, we just took out the ruler of hell. Suppose we're now the rulers of hell. It's done. Now let's get out of here. Guys, there's no more ruler of hell. We need hell for the bad people's souls to go to. Okay. It's finally over, isn't it? It was a long struggle, but with the Emperor gone, we've nothing left to fear. Thank you. With all my heart, I thank you. With the combined strength of Cashewon and Finn, we will build the kingdom anew. Together, Princess, we will create a kingdom even fairer than the old. Though once a coward, I now stand here a new man. I have all of you to thank for that. You have my deepest gratitude. I'm sure Scott is smiling down on me from above. Look at you. Do you realize what you've done? Who am I supposed to steal from with the Empire gone? You put me out of a job. I guess I'll just have to start stealing from you. Better watch your backs. Buddy, you do not want to pick that fight. You sure showed him, Furion. You're every bit the bloke I pegged you for. If you ever feel like trying your hand at pirating... What? That not sit well with you, Maria? Ha ha ha, looks like your next battle's already begun, Furion. You did it. I'm sure my dad's happy for you too, up there above the clouds. I'm going to be working here, serving the princess. I just want to do whatever I can to help out. Oh god, it's a ghost. Quick, hit it with life. Joseph? We must now dedicate ourselves to the task of restoring what was lost. Farewell. Words cannot express my gratitude to you all. Exit screen left. War finally over. Yes. We can live in peace again, together. Right. Leon? For us, there can be no going back. But why? Don't go. Furion, stop him. Maria, Leon is right. We've been through too much. I can't stop him. Not now. Leon, when the time is right, we'll be waiting. And we see our 4 dead friends. We'll be meeting up with them soon. Well, we should be going too. This is only the beginning. Except this is a Final Fantasy game. This is definitely the end. Their long struggle was finally at an end. The Emperor, Pandemonium. The monsters plaguing the world. All had vanished without a trace. Peace had returned once more. The wounds of the war would mend. And the memory of those bitter days would fade. But one thing would never be forgotten. That a band of young heroes once saved the world. Final Fantasy II. So, as I said when I started this, I never actually beat this game before. This is the first time I finished the game. It's the first time I've really gotten much past the infiltration of Finn Castle, Finn the first time. I didn't particularly care for the leveling system, especially when I was a bit younger. And I have to say, the leveling system as an idea, I enjoy. It's much like Skyrim or Oblivion or the Elder Scrolls games. Do things to gain skill. There are some things I would change. It should keep a running total of how much HP you lose in a battle, regardless of whether you healed it, to determine your HP ups. But they did, of course, correct the problem by giving you free HP ups every 10 levels in this version of the game, and the 20th anniversary and the like. Would I recommend getting the original NES game? If you want a harder time of it, sure. To be honest though, with the fixes in this version, I would say it's probably the better one. The music in the game was fine. I didn't find it particularly spectacular, but it wasn't bad. It was some classic Final Fantasy music in there. I'm glad they included the chocobos. Chocobos are one of my favorite parts of Final Fantasy. Unlike Moogles, I'm one of the few people who's not really a big fan of Moogles. But that's for the next game in the series. Let's see here. Combat was pretty good. I think one of the strengths of this game is that if you wanted to use magic, you could. You could get plenty of MP by casting spells repeatedly. That you could use magic as much as you wanted. Ethers, while expensive at the start, become fairly cheap at the end, and Osmos means that your black mage won't really run out of mana. Or your white mage if you put it on your white mage. Some of the spells were a little overlappy and not very useful. I think that spells could level up a little faster. I think they should have capped the skills at 10. If that was going to be the reasonable cap to get, that would have been fine. Now, that being said, as you saw, getting all your magic to 8, getting your weapons to 8, it's not really that difficult. You can do it just by fighting the encounters and just casting spells fairly regularly during them. It's a little grindy that way, but it's not as grindy as you would think, and as you saw, it's in no way necessary to grind magic higher than that. In fact, I probably ground magic more than I needed to. So you have that. There's no real reason to switch weapons around like I did on Firion, perhaps, because Ultima's power was determined by that, but in the end, I barely had to use Ultima. The blood sword's a little overpowered. Maybe I cheapened the ending that way. We've reached the end. I'm gonna let it sit here while I finish. As far as the Dawn of Souls games combined, I liked the updates. I liked the graphical improvements. Yes, we will save this data. Oh, no. Save it here. That'll be fine. This will let us continue on to the new game plus, so to speak, or say the bonus content of the game, which we will be doing next. I've certainly never done that, and I tried not to over-prepare the character as I was sending forward, just to make that a bit more interesting. We'll see how that turns out. What else about the game? So, it was an experiment. I think they should have turned the encounter rate down a little bit. I think all the dead-end rooms that were just traps, one, they became fairly obvious after a while, and two, they weren't particularly necessary. I like the MP system. Spell charges have never been my favorite, even if I am a D&D player. I like that everyone could learn every spell. I generally like the variety of weapons. The fact that you are stuck using light armor if you wanted to use magic, not my favorite. Now, of course, later that would just be controlled by the character's armor sets. What could they equip at all? So I understand it. But especially in this game when there is so much magic and you have to level up each one individually on each character, it really pays to spread out your magic amongst your characters. But other than that, fairly good. Let's talk about the pink elephant in the corner that's sobbing profusely to itself, the fourth character in your party. The game is not that long. I don't know how many parts I'm going to end up when I'm done editing, but I assume it will be around 14 or 15 parts, around 30 minutes. Of course, I've cut out huge amounts of random battles. Let's see if I can see here how long that actually ended up taking. 21 hours and 40 minutes. I let the game sit for a while, so I would say about 20 hours, including the random battles. So, yeah. You don't keep party. The game is not long enough to properly level all those characters, and most of them don't stay with you long enough to matter because of the way the magic system works and the way the weapon system works. By the time you get Leon at the end of the game, he's basically worthless. I mean, yes, I gave him 2 good swords, and I gave him the best armor, and basically he was just the character that never got to use magic, and it worked out okay, but still, I don't know. It doesn't feel very fulfilling to keep swapping around those characters. The Soul of Rebirth was kind of the way they tried to address that, by putting those 4 characters who died to use at this point. Now, that being said, I liked the characters for what little characterization they got. This was not a plot-heavy game, as you could tell. Final Fantasy III, especially the remade version that I will probably be picking up on Steam when I play through it, added more plot. And Final Fantasy IV, I think, is when they really hit their stride with their storytelling. Yeah. What else? Anything else important to go over? What do I think of the game overall? It was a good game. It really was. A lot of people think it was a bad game. Perhaps the original Famicom version was, but we weren't playing that. I think that this version is passable. It's not as grindy as people make it out to be, so don't feel obligated to grind. You can basically make any character whatever you want, barring your 4th characters who don't stick around long enough. They never go back to this type of game again, and I can see why. I think the classic RPG styles and the class change styles you see in the future are significantly better handled than this particular kind of game was. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Final Fantasy II. I'm glad I played it. I think if you get a chance to play it, you should. I would definitely recommend this or the Anniversary Edition, which I believe came out on the PSP. In fact, I'd actually recommend the Anniversary Edition. It's the same as this with one additional dungeon beyond the Soul of Rebirth, where the main characters of the game get ultimate weapons and all that fun stuff. It extends the game out to probably a more reasonable 35 hours, maybe 40, which is more what you would expect from a modern RPG. Though I will be fair, one of my favorite RPGs ever, Final Fantasy IV, is only a 20-25 hour game in its original form. It's a bit longer these days if you want to do the bonus content or play one of the newer versions like the 3D remake. And of course there's the After Years, which I've also never played, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get my hands on that, but we'll worry about that later. With all that said, I think this is about where we call it for Final Fantasy II. Join me with the bonus content for Soul of Rebirth as we see what happened to our dear deceased companions. Something tells me their afterlife is not going to be that great. Oh, I remembered. One more thing I wanted to say about the plot in general. What was with the Emperor? Why did he take out Satan? Why did he rule hell? He was a wuss. He really was. He was a wimp, and that doesn't really make any sense. And I think beyond just the localization costs, the reference to Satan and hell pretty much damned the game from ever seeing a US release during the Nintendo of America heyday, which is a pity. Still, the silly plot aside, a fun little game. But with all that said, until our paths cross again, have fun and stay safe, everyone.